Hi everybody, we're going to get started with May Club Q, and this kit is called Enjoy This Life. The powder puff chalking inks that we suggest is Sky Blue, Harvest Moon, Baja Blue, and Pumpkin Pie. So really any of your blues, aquas, turquoise, any of your oranges, whatever works for you. You grab the color you like out of your stash of powder puffs and we will get started. So I have most of the die cuts already punched out. The only cut, I love this because there's no cutting diagrams on here, so it makes it really easy. The only cut is this 3.5 by 11 piece of paper. So it's 3.5 by 11, and all you do is cut it at 5.5, so right in the middle. So then you end up with 3.5 by 5.5. So the piece that's in your kit looks like this, 3.5 by 11, and then you just cut it in the middle at 5.5, and that's really the only cutting in this video. The other thing is I just cut these out with scissors, but you can use it on your trimmer. Cut out all your words for your tags. And then I punched out all of my die cuts here, most of them. I just want to show you here in the beginning, these are pieces that we are going to use. So don't throw those away once you punch the tags out of the middle, because we are going to use those as photo backers. And I'm going to apologize now. I have had a cough for 2.5 weeks now and losing my voice and in and out. So I hope that it's not going to go in and out on the video, but I'll apologize in advance. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We have our 2 background papers out. And this one is a very simple kit, but I like it because you can fit lots of photos on there, little photos in your film strips. So one trick I want to show you real quick before we start layering things on. So you pause this at any point, and if you want to put your pictures in, then glue it down, you can. Just pause it and then come back to the video whenever. But I wanted to show you here, these little pieces that come out of the inside of your film strip, these are really handy to use to trace on a picture so you know what size picture to put in here. So if you take this little piece here, you have the picture that you want to put in here, take this little piece, put it on top of your picture where you want it, and just barely trace on the outside edge. And you can see here on the 2 ends, you can make it a little bit longer. So you want to maybe cut out here just a little bit on your photo so that you have something to glue it to there. This one is really pretty thin here. So you cut just real close to the top there, real close to the bottom, and then you can cut a little further on the outside on each side so that it glues behind there. So these little pieces, once you have them punched out, they're good for little tags and stuff too, but they make it easy to cut your photo to what you need. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to start layering the pieces. In your kit, you had, I think it's a 5.5 by 7.5 orange. The smaller kind of diamond blue piece goes over top of that. And if you want to, you can use that other side too if you'd like. It's up to you. And I'm just going to start kind of placing these on the page before I glue them down. There's no tricks to this one really, no funny folds or cuts or anything, so we'll just lay it out here and then we'll glue it down after. And all I'm doing actually on this one, there's not a lot to walk you through. I'm just going just by the picture here. So these little strips, we're just going to line up along the side, along the bottom. We have one blue strip that's turned out a little bit here. The other blue strip goes across the bottom here. And it does have exact measurements, but I like to work in abouts, and so I am going to lay it about where I want on the page. Okay, you have two orange brackets here, and the biggest orange one is going to go right next to that blue strip. This one's going to go at the bottom here. And chalk these up as you like. I'm going to actually, these little photo backers here for page 1, I have deep sea, so I'm going to add a little more, like, it's kind of a navy color. I'm going to do the chalking in that color, and you can choose any of your blues, really any of the aquas, turquoise. I'm using one that's more navy. It kind of depends on what color your pictures are. If you have real bright, like orangey colors in your picture, you might want to use a little more orange. Chalk these up a little bit. But this is where we are going to use these pieces that kind of look like scraps. And actually, I'm just going to glue these together because I know that's exactly where they're going to go. I have my Barely Art glue. This will come in really handy with this little precision tip when we do the film strips because they are a little more intricate here, so that you need the little precision tip to get glue on there. So when you do this, you want to make sure not put glue in the middle here because it'll stick where that opening is. So just a little around the outside. And these just kind of get tipped up like this. I don't have an orange over here. I'm actually going to do this in blue too. This gets tacked just behind there, about 1/4 of an inch down. And again, just about 1/4 of an inch. So I have this. So it's centered at the top and about 1/4 of an inch down. And I'm not going to chalk everything up on my sample, but you go ahead and hit pause and chalk anything up that you would like. You have a little tab here with the music on it. And if you have the pictures that you want behind here, make sure you trace them like I mentioned before so that they fit correctly. Once you have your pictures in there, that's when it goes on to this little music piece. And I'm just going to do a few dots of glue here and there. You don't have to have this glued all the way down. Once you get your pictures in, it goes onto this music one. And honestly, if you don't have pictures or small enough pictures to put in here, this looks cute just like it is. So you don't have to cover these up with pictures either. And again, if you prefer to just glue things down as we go, you definitely can. If you are going to do that, we're going to do these little tags next. Each tag, there's a silver brad that goes into each one of these tags here. And there's a small word that goes on each one. I'm going to chalk that up just a little bit. Add a little blue to it. A little glue on the back. And then I'm going to line these up before I lay them down, or before I glue them down, so that I know kind of the spacing that I want. And I don't want to cover up my entire picture here. So you kind of just move it so that it fits your page and you're not wanting to cover up your picture as much. Got these out of order here. I'll rearrange when I'm done. So it says, I hope you sing, dance, laugh, enjoy this life on the other page. So once you have your brads in there, then you would glue them down. The brads don't have to go all the way through the page, just through the top of the tag. And this way you can kind of line it up so that it works for your pictures in there. Okay, and I think the last thing for that page is this arrow. Except for the brads, you go ahead and add brads to the tops of those. And then your arrow goes right on top of that. On page 2, we start at the bottom with the blue. Chalk that up a little bit too. With the blue bracket here. And on the picture, it's actually under this one. It doesn't really matter. You can put it wherever you want. But it has these going underneath. The thing I love about this kit is you really can just look at the picture and place things as you go. Okay, so we have a music note. Gets glued right on the top of this one. And another music note over here. And you can tuck these underneath, or you can leave them sticking out a little more and just flush with the edge there. I kind of like it with a little more of the music notes showing, so I'm just going to leave mine out, but you can tuck it underneath if you want just a little less. You have one big music piece that goes underneath. I'm going to go ahead and glue this together here. And then this whole piece gets glued to the center of the music page. And again, if you like the other side of the paper better, you can definitely use the other side. This paper is gorgeous on both sides. And then the whole thing gets glued down. like that. And then, like I said, same goes for these. Use that square or that rectangle from the inside to trace onto your pictures. Or you could put little quotes in here if you wanted to, or you can just put different colors behind there. Totally up to you. I'm going to scoot this out just a little bit further. This is why I don't glue it down completely until I have my pictures in there. But this gets overlapped here. The smaller one here. And then once there's pictures in here, it doesn't look so messy right there. Chalk up the Enjoy This Life. This makes a little pocket. Goes right over top of your film strips. And the last little piece, oh, actually, you know what? Glad I didn't glue these down yet. So these two little strips here, they go behind this to kind of make it a solid orange in each of those squares, just to add some color to it. I'm just going to put a few dots here and there. There we go. Just adds a little extra color to your page. And then these, you could put little pictures in there if you have somebody that's way in the background and you want to cut out and put in there, or you could put words, or just leave it as a decoration. Just to add some music notes there. So that is a super fast kit. But I love these colors. I love the music notes on this. It's a theme that can be used pretty much for anything. So I hope you enjoyed it. Quick, simple, lots of spaces for photos. And thanks for being a Club Q member. We will see you next time.